Hey, do you feel like a climb? I do. And here we have the defensive wall that surrounds Lucca, and it is still intact. By the way, here's one of 4 entry points. The distinguishing fact about this defensive wall is that above us right now we have a walking, running, cycling track, car free, that you can use to get your health and fitness stuff. That is just wonderful, isn't it? And as we come through the porta, we enter the old town of Lucca, the historical centre. It's a great medieval Tuscan town. Now I need to find a hire bike, and this could be promising over here. So the Lucca train station is just outside the wall at one of the main entrances, and there's bike hire places everywhere. 4K loop along the top of the wall with no traffic. €5, it's great, isn't it? And it gives me a chance to just have a look at where all the main sites are. You can see some of the great towers. It looks good in there. I'm looking forward to getting in there and sharing this exploration of Lucca with you. Expat Lifestyle with Bads. As always, thumbs up, subscribe, bell notifications on. I hope you enjoy this episode here at Lucca. And look, this one will be great for the family. The kids are loving it, aren't they? Look at that. So I'm on a hire bike, which is €5 an hour, and I'm riding along on top of the wall that surrounds Lucca. Now, this roadway is car free. It's Saturday morning, and look at everyone out and about. Talk about a healthy lifestyle. First impressions here of Lucca, just fantastic. And here we come into the Piazza Anfiteatro, and this has got origins back to the 2nd century AD, and that's based on the fact that this sort of oval shaped, like an arena, isn't it? It was a Roman amphitheatre, I guess, and now it's a very popular place to have a drink or an evening meal. Imagine evening time, this would be absolutely lovely here. And I'll tell you what, I'm a little bit thirsty, a little bit parched, and I need to find somewhere to have a drink. What do you think? Right, so I'm sitting here in the Anfiteatro in Lucca, enjoying a cappuccino and just soaking up the atmosphere. And I better drink up because I've got lots to see. Ah, that's good. The cappuccino I just had wasn't bad at all. Okay, now I've got to check out this shopping street. And as I leave the Anfiteatro, through the opposite gate I came in, I'm pretty sure I'm coming into the main shopping street, via Falongo. Alright, so there we go. That's good to know. Not so much for myself, but my wife loves a bit of retail therapy, that's for sure. Now, just recently I went to the Academia and saw David. Michelangelo would be rolling in his grave right now. So I'm in the main shopping street. It's really a very popular thoroughfare A lot of clothing shops, you know, leather and ice creameries, etc. Look, I read that Lucca was well known for its pottery, but I'm yet to find anything. But obviously there's other laneways to explore. Certainly it's a lovely walk along this street and it's recommended. But in terms of shopping, nothing really stands out. You know, you've got a lot of your touristy stuff too. Museo of Torture. Yeah, this place looks like I might have to drop in later. Okay, look, it's pretty brutal what they do inside there. €10, you know, nasty stuff back in the day. This is like a dungeon, isn't it? Oh my goodness. It's the old rack, isn't it? Look at that. Being whipped.
Torture during the Middle Ages was brutal, inhumane and used for a variety of purposes, including extracting confessions, punishing criminals, and was often associated with religious authorities seeking to maintain control or enforce conformity. In my opinion, I certainly wouldn't recommend taking in your young ones to see this exhibit.
Now directly ahead we get a glimpse of a tower with trees on it, the Torre Guinigi. Now that's pretty remarkable, isn't it? And that's where I'm heading now. Hey, do you feel like a climb? I do. See, there's a few flights to get up there. Can you believe this? On the top of a tower in the middle of Lucca. It's just spectacular, isn't it? About 700 years old, I think. It's a classic medieval tower that nobility lived in. And look, this Saturday morning, and look how many people are up here. That's what I mean. Lucca is probably a second-tier destination for most people, and it was noticeable walking in how much quieter it is compared to, you know, Florence, Siena, San Gimignano, and so on. Worth a visit? I can tell you what, for sure. Right, I'm getting some steps up, that's for sure today. How far to go? A fair way by the looks of things. Getting closer. Right, some of the clock mechanisms, I'd imagine. And we're just about here. Made it. Now, my quick turn to the left, the Guinigi Tower. We were up there earlier today, weren't we? That was fantastic over there. It's very big. The novelty of those trees. Look at the crowds on the top of this clock tower. Standing room only. I've got the place to myself. That's nice. And a bit of a rarity, really. So let's have another look around. That's another tower there. That's the tower of the San Basilica, just there. So I'm continuing with my first impressions that Lucca is much, much quieter than some of the other more visited Tuscan cities. And I'm going to just enjoy the solitude up here with these big bells. I wonder if they're still operating. I guess they are on the hour. That tower is amazing, isn't it, with those trees? Look, so you remove yourself a laneway or two off the main thoroughfare, and it's very, very quiet. But charming, isn't it? And you get that authentic feel too. And that's the advantage of these medieval towns that have continued to have their defensive wall in place. Monteriggioni is much smaller scale, and we did stay a night there. Their wall's only about 700 metres to walk around, whereas here in Lucca it's about 4 kilometres. And back in the day, when Florence, its final outer wall was in place, that had a circumference of about 8 kilometres. 200 towers in Lucca back in the day, and the nobility lived in the towers. The bigger and taller the tower, the more important you were. Yeah, so remove yourself from that main shopping street, and you get a little bit more of a realistic, authentic feel. Like this little piazza here. Look at that. Okay, let's head this way. So what I'm doing is I'm slowly making myself back to the train station. By the way, the train from Florence was about an hour and 50, and it was €10 each way, so a total of €20 to get here. So it's quite easy if your base is in Florence. The thing is, if you're doing a day trip from Florence, you've got so many options, haven't you? And that's what I mean. This is probably going to be a second time in Italy visit. So I'm coming into the Piazza San Giovanni, and look, another church. Lucca is known as a city of 100 churches. And look at that, there's a opera performance in there tonight. Now that would be pretty special, wouldn't it? And we can see another big basilica through here. And that's where I'm heading now, and that is the Basilica San Martino, Duomo of Lucca. And look, as we come closer in, you'll notice the columns are all quite different. Now, during medieval times, when this was under construction, they had a competition to decide which local artisan could design the best looking column, and they obviously had lots of entrants, and in the end those in control decided to use all of the columns and therefore didn't pay anyone. Bit sneaky. The old street performers, you gotta love it, don't you? And look at this is just behind me there. There's beauty in all directions in Lucca, it truly is. So there you have it, my little exploration of Lucca. What a great medieval town to visit. Now, if you're in Italy for the first time on a short stay, I doubt very much that this will make your to-do list. Having said that, if it's your second or third time here, Lucca should certainly be on your to-do list. The fact that the defensive walls are intact all the way around this city has kept it very, very authentic. It has a great medieval feel to it. The towers are just so unique as well. I've really enjoyed exploring Lucca today, and it's certainly a town that you can visit comfortably and see everything in the one day itself too. Expat Lifestyle with Bats. Please drop me a comment or question in the comments below. As always, thumbs up, subscribe, bell notifications on. I'll see you next episode. Ciao.